Hey, yo, what's up, Guam? Bonjour, famille. It's your boy Bump Jonas, representing for Sprinkle Some Salt Podcast. I'm here with,
L'S810, gang
and
gang.
he's here doing it up for Emerald Dreams Lab. We're gonna sit down with your boy for a minute. You know how it is. I like to have conversations and just chop it up. I got me a list of questions. We're gonna respect the space, no smoke in the air, but we're gonna get to know about Els, his music career, just Els, right?
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Let's figure out.
Nah.
L's the engineer, L's the studio owner, and all that shit.
L's
Niggas don't
the
know too much
MC.
about that. L's the MC. Let's give him some more information.
I want to know. I want to know about that music, man, because you know what I'm saying. That music. All right.
Mm.
So the easiest thing to ask is where does Els come from?
The L's810 comes from lyrically. L's comes from the lyrical shaman. So if you know what the shaman is, shaman can, speak tales from the past, conjure up fire and stuff like that. When I was coming up with my rap name, I was inspired off watching the Jim Morrison movie. So I was like, I want to be a shaman. So I'm the lyrical shaman. So L's, you feel me? And then once I had made Sunny Ave, and I started talking about Flint in the hood, and that was like me really being descriptive on what I'm from in my story. I found my story. I added the 810 on there, so that's me representing representing Flint, Michigan.
Fly City, Fly City.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that. So L's lyrical shaman 810 repping for. Okay, all right, that's hard. Bars in the name. I love that. I love that off the rip. So, what was the song like that song that got you inspired? You know, I mean, you coming up in Flint. I'm sure music was all around, but what was the one that was like, yo, I'm gonna do this?
I would really say the Love Below, that Outkast CD. I probably was like, that's when I kind of like decided I wanted to do music. But I kind of like tried before, but I couldn't really figure out how to rap good, and it was shitty, so I like left it alone. But after Andre 3000, I made it a plight. After I heard the Love Below and Speaker Box and fell in love with Outkast and music, I wanted to figure out how to do that, and I just made myself figure out how to do it.
Now you said you thought you were shitty. So like, because for those that don't know, like my man has got a joint out right now called Golden Hour Freestyle, and it's with Wayo, and that shit is crazy. I mean, just sprinkle some salt all over that motherfucker. Y'all went crazy.
Yeah,
So
Golden Freestyle.
what was
right
whack
now.
back in the day? Like what was your whack to you?
I couldn't, bro. I was trying to recreate shit that I already heard instead of giving my story, and that's what always makes it whack. I was trying to just put words together I thought sound cool and made you sound like a rapper instead of really, really trying to put out me.
It is. There's nothing more. We're gonna move on after
And
that.
that's
That was
whack.
good. That's hip hop right there, y'all. So I just mentioned Golden Hour, and you had mentioned Sunny Ave before. So I want to talk a little bit about your discography. You got a real extensive track of music from
Thank
my
you,
perspective,
brother. I appreciate
man.
that.
Dope. You've been going at it. So talk to us about how Golden Hour came about, though. How did that?
So the Golden Freestyle, that's with me and my boy YO, and really we got a whole album about to come out with that, and we've been dropping little footage and 2 videos. We done dropped the interview shit that we've been doing. But that's a whole album between me and YO called Linden 316, and that's like the first place I went to Rap Academy and wrote my rhymes, and was trying to do 10 songs a day type stuff, and really, really got it together. And YO, my brother, that was the first actually original beat I ever rapped on, was his beat. So, and we had a rap group together back in the day. So now us coming together with me owning the studio and him being a killer producer and been doing what he been doing, now we coming back together and finna drop an album.
Well, it's only appropriate then.
Yeah.
So then I didn't even recognize that was him on the beat.
Mm-hmm.
So
He
y'all
made the
both
beat too.
killing it. Okay, so y'all are a crazy duo in that sense, because you're an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make beats as well?
No, I don't make beats. I just mix and master and mix and master and a whole bunch of back end stuff. Run my own studio, run my own record label, merch brand, all that stuff, and then also give information and anything I could do to help any artist and anybody else I know. I do that too.
Inspiration. I mean, really, like the unofficial. I always give E the shit about like, yo, he's the unofficial mayor, but you right there with it, bro. You're a walking legend in the city,
I know, man. Thank you. I appreciate that,
we
brother.
could aspire to like really like have that community mindset that you have, that you give out. So, but man, back to the MC part. We're gonna get into the engineering, the ownership, but what were some inspirations to your style or approach to making music as you were coming up?
Lyricism, good feel, and truth, and really making the voice be an instrument. You know what I'm saying? But also filling the pocket and having a really good, strong narrative. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important.
That story,
Yeah.
that story aspect. Well, that story aspect is big in hip hop anyway, but especially if you're gonna tell your truth, that comes through a lot for you too. That's dope. That's dope. So, again, I want to pick on how you mentioned, like you thought you were whack. So, talk to us a little bit how your style has grown since you started, where you were whack, because you're clearly not whack now. So what's been some transitions for you?
I don't know. I'm still working, man. I know transitions just stay writing. You got to stay writing and trust all my artists, trust that original feel, chase that original feel. I tell people sometimes you might not have the words, but if you know how a track needs to feel, put that feeling down and then try to fit words into that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Just always trust your feeling and be truthful with your art, and don't work on shit too long. If you sitting on something too long, take your mind off of it. Always trust your first mind.
Gems. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. I can't add nothing to that. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about your history in the industry and stuff, because you've mixed and matched and worked around and done things, rap academy, school. So as much info as you can give without upsetting anything, rocking any barrels, like, what's your first major contact that you met in the industry that you was like, oh shit, man, I'm doing something?
Shoot, I don't know. I know a big part probably like after I got out of college. A lot of stuff in college. I met a lot of people in college. I was around a lot of stuff, and once I got out of school, and I was in at the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences, and then I did my intern in New Orleans. So I was around a whole bunch of Cash Money people, and I got to meet like Kid, and a whole bunch of Cash Money artists, and I was around Fee, which is Lil Wayne's best friend, which is NBA YoungBoy's manager right now. And Fee is my homeboy because my cousin's best friend, Morris Peterson, who went to the NBA, used to play for the Hornets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? His last little run, and he was cool with all them New Orleans guys and them, Fee and them. So I did my intern down there so I could try to get in the middle, and I was around a whole bunch of Cash Money stuff. I got a song out there called Rose Red, or it's on everything if y'all can find it. Fee's on there doing the drop saying, I'm out here with my boy Els. But that's Lil Wayne's best friend. When Wayne say, Fee, I got him. I used to be around Fee all the time, man.
All you internet sleuths,
he managed NBA YoungBoy right now. That's crazy.
Rose Red. Go find that track.
Rose Red, man. For Rose Red freestyle. That's when I was Els, a.k.a. LNS.
Okay. All right, he can change names on us, y'all.
Hey, on game.
All right, so how did you become not only an engineer but a studio owner? Like, talk to us a little bit about that transition.
So really, when I graduated from Conservatory Recording Arts and Sciences, I did my intern, finished. I came back to Kansas City, Missouri, started doing a lot of stuff, and then first studio I ever worked at was Get Tough Recording, and that was on 350 Highway with this lady named Michelle and a guy named Deezy. And I got hired at that studio, and then that studio kind of shut down. I went home for a minute, and I came up to Supreme Sound Labs, and I kicked off that studio. So I was working at Supreme Sound Labs, and after Supreme Sound Labs, I went to another studio down in Westport, and I ran that for like 5 years, and like started training engineers and teaching people the game, and then I was getting money off that and really doing good off that. And then I started doing I had to part ways with the other company with some stuff happened, and then I ended up doing my own studio with Emerald Dream Labs and some other people, and then it's where we at now. We at the second location right now, and we've been open and going on 3 years. And they say most businesses don't be open for more than a year, and we're going on the 3rd year.
So y'all breaking myths already, cracking molds and,
gang.
You know what I'm saying, changing codes and shit.
Already, man. Black owned, man.
So then,
Black owned, minority owned. Do you feel me? Black and minority owned.
So then,
sure. When did not just black owned?
When did? So you already had set out to be musically inclined. You was gonna be an MC. You was gonna be a rapper, and you were going to school. And so you were just like, look, this is the was being an engineer kind of the plan B of
Yeah,
sorts?
well,
Or
no,
let's
being an
stay
engineer, I
in
figured
the
out
mix?
after my research in the game, I figured out that it was certain people that always was gonna be in the game, and it was either producers or engineers or people in the back end. So I figured out, hey, I know engineering get me in the studio, and plus as an artist, I want to know how to make my art. I get to learn how to do that. That's gonna make me more valuable, and I can be able to control my output on my music. I ain't gotta have nobody help me put my music out.
Right.
So engineer what it was. Plus it got me in the studios. I was in awe of studios and gear. I wanted to be around that stuff. I used to put pictures of studios up on my ceiling and MacBook computers and gear and shit like that. So
you're like a gearhead in that sense when
yeah,
it comes to studio talk.
and then when I got to crash, I got to touch all that shit and learn all that shit. It was like, it was crazy. I almost cried when I left because I didn't think I was ever going to be around it no more, but
Recreated it for himself anyway.
on game.
You know what I'm saying?
Piece
All
by
right, so
piece.
how have you? I mean, and from one angle, you've basically experienced two sides of the industry, right? Being an artist and back end, right? So,
Yeah.
how have you avoided or navigated, is probably a better way to put it, the quote unquote pitfalls of the industry?
Being diverse and coming up with new ways to make money and setting up new streams of revenue. That's how you stay moving. You got to be a chameleon, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm from Flint. I didn't get birthed in this. I'm not a trust fund baby. This is all out the mud. So, shit, I had to just adapt and do what I have to do to get where I'm trying to get. You feel me? But it'll all make sense soon.
Put the numbers together.
Yeah.
Man. Again, bro, you inspiration. I'm not trying to fanboy out, but it's
you my nigga. You inspiration to me, bro.
When you have an opportunity to see like good things happening in your community, in your area, you want to make sure you shout it out. And especially what's been happening lately, you got to make sure you give people their flowers while you had that chance. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
So, all right, just looking at your list, bro, as far as like music that's out there. By the way, Rose Red, make sure y'all looking for that when you Detective Sleuths. But you know, Golden Freestyles out. You got something else coming out. Steamers, Requiem for a Black Man, Pressure, Deeper, Dividend, Sunny Avenue. So, I mean, it's all the way back. So my real question is like, how much unreleased shit do you got?
Too much unreleased shit. You feel me? So next year, I think I want to drop 10 projects. I'm going nuts because I got that much unreleased music, that much Anybody know me? Everybody got a song with me. If you ask anybody, everybody got a song with me sitting on the hard drive waiting to come out. You feel me? So I need to drop that shit, and that's what I'm on.
So the flood's coming.
Flood's coming.
All right, worst song you ever made?
Worst song I ever made? I don't know.
And it could have been deleted. Like,
Probably this song, I don't know, that bitch might be on, it was called LNS in the Groove, with me and my own boy Tyree Johnson. We had a group back in the day, and I had this song called Good With It. And it was like, it was a joke, but then it became a song, and that's probably the horriblest song, but people used to love that song, but it was like almost like a pornography song. So I was like, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. And I was rapping fast, talking about some straight porno shit. It was horrible, but my little cousin used to love Good With It, because, you know, that was me. I was doing that aspect of doing shit that you wasn't supposed to say type shit. Right. So
you was being rebellious.
Yeah, the
this
kids loved
it. Young Al.
Yeah, it's Good With It was horrible, man. But I snapped on that bitch though.
So, all right, speaking of snapping, like how do you go back and forth to navigate being like an MC and an engineer? You know, are you always
the love of fucking hip hop, man, and being insane and being blessed and being able to take this path. I don't know how, but this is what I guess I'm here to inspire and help people and try to get to that next level, because that's what that's what I just been on.
Man.
And that's what I am. Anybody that know me know I've been like this all my life though. Even before it was like the engineering and the music, I was always very, very hip hop driven. Before it was a fad,
yeah. You have a very, very that energy comes out.
Yeah,
you know
thank you. We used to just study that shit, you know.
We gonna end up with a part two, because there's some depths to it. My man is a student of the game for real. You gotta be around him, but he's a student of the game.
Student, gotta be able to help you out.
All right, so this is kind of a two-parter, but do you ghostwrite? Have you ever ghostwritten for anybody?
I've helped people finish their lyrics, but never ghostwritten a whole full song.
Not actually,
but,
like
yeah,
no reference and shit like that.
yeah, I need to though. Nah.
Never know, man. That next dope verse might be right there.
Hey, on gang.
Now, okay, but now with that, define ghostwriting.
Ghostwriting is literally creating a whole vibe in a song for somebody and showing them how it need to come out and letting them either they put their own spin on it or really just giving somebody a vibe and a feel and a direction of where to go with a record, you know? So
Like a full-on like instructional.
ghostwriting, yeah. I've heard people ghostwriting and sometimes they don't even have words on there and then people come up with the same flow and then put their own little words to it.
Now, okay, that's a little bit different though, right? Is that ghostwriting or is that more collaboration?
I don't know. It's still ghostwriting to an aspect because at the end of the day, you taking the swag is the end of the day. Sometimes it ain't what you saying, it's how you saying it. So I get somebody a swag, I'm blessing you.
All right, there it is, y'all. That's another definition of ghostwriting from a walking legend. All right, so for you, pen and pad or is it phone when it comes to writing your rhymes?
Both. Pen, pad, phone, freestyle, punch in. I do whatever, man.
Get the job done.
Get the job done, man.